Welcome back, everybody, to part 4 of our series where we are parsing SEC filing documents. Before we begin, I do want to point out an error that was on the previous video. So you might want to make sure you fix that. Obviously, it's going to be on the code on GitHub, but on this particular line, so line 56, where we're splitting our individual documents into their pages, for whatever reason, I had put split filing string inside of here. You can't do that. It does have to be filing doc string, so the actual original text as a string. Unfortunately, when I put this one in here, I was putting a list inside of a list, and so when I was starting to normalize all of my text, it did produce an error. So you want to make sure that this is filing doc string and not split filing string. So with that being said, though, I did run everything again. Everything was parsed correctly. At this point, everything is still good. We're still in the kind of the same spot that we were before. So we've normalized our text. We are now going to go on and start defining some new features that we can then add to our particular dictionary. And so the first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be defining our page number. And so we're going to define our page number. I don't want my page number to start at 0. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my index, so whatever index I'm on in my loop, and I'm just going to add 1 to it. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to start inserting some stuff into my individual dictionaries. So add the normalized text to the dictionary. And what this is going to look like is I'm going to take that normalized text dictionary, I'm going to pass through the page number, so that will serve as my key. And then I'm going to take my page text norm, so my normalized clean text, and I'm going to store that as the value. And I'm going to repeat this process for the repaired HTML code. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the repaired HTML code to the dictionary. Okay, and so what this is going to be is repaired pages. Page number is still going to be the key. And then I'm just going to take that page soup that I defined up above after it's been parsed. Okay, and then from here, it'll do that through the entire loop, and then you'll kind of have this massive dictionary that's full of little kind of mini dictionaries. From here, what do we need to do? Well, we need to now take this dictionary and this dictionary and now store it in my master filings document. And so really what you can do is you can take this little guy right here and then add the normalized text. And I'm going to do it. So I'm going to say filing documents, and then we're going to call the document that we're currently on. And then we're going to add a new key called page normalized text, and that will equal my normalized text dictionary. So add the normalized text dictionary to the master filing document. I guess dictionary. And then we're going to repeat that process for this one. And so we're going to actually overwrite one of our old ones. So up here, I define my pages code. I don't want that really, to be honest. I'd rather just have that be the now new HTML version of it. So we'll just overwrite that and have that equal my repaired pages. I'll have it equal my repaired pages. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to add some page numbers that I generate. So in the documentation, you'll technically see 2 page numbers. So I'm going to add the page numbers we generate. And so I'm going to store that in a variable called genPageNumbers. And that's going to basically equal a list of the repaired pages dot keys, because the keys are the page numbers, right? So we can just take all the keys, convert that into a list, and then what I'll do is I'll just add that again into my master filing document dictionary. But we'll just put it under something called page numbers generated. And that will equal my generated page numbers. And so once that's pretty much all done, you're good to go. And what I'm going to do from here is I do have some other stuff in here where, again, if you want to just show some stuff to the user as it's parsing, this is kind of how you would do it. And then this one has to unfortunately be changed to document ID. I don't know why that was document. We want to get this one. And this one has to be inside that inner loop because it's going to be looping through each page. And then finally, I'm going to have this one be here. Okay, perfect. So if I run this, it's already failing. It's already failing. Oh yeah, it's because I had that. Document ID. Document ID, cool. Perfect. So it'll loop through each one. As you can tell, it's parsing it. Don't worry about this stuff. I don't know why it does it. It just does a line break. But you can see, in some cases when, you have over 200 pages, it moves pretty quick, but it still has to loop through everything. So at this point, really, you're in a kind of a good spot. I mean, you've got pretty much the bulk of it. And from here, you could really start doing some interesting stuff. So to kind of just give you an idea of, what you're dealing with at this point, I am going to take one here so you can kind of see what it looks like a little bit. I can't show you everything, unfortunately, but I can show you most of it. Let me do, actually, I had that little simple one there. Let me just grab this one. There's probably not going to be much there, unfortunately, but I'd rather show you a small one so you can kind of get the idea of what it looks like. But you can see you've got your document code, you've got your normalized text, you got your page numbers, and your pages code. And so this is kind of what you would imagine for each individual one. You would have your code, you would have your document information inside of it as well, and then you would have the information about it. Sorry, my mic gave out. And so at this point, you've got some information, you've got stuff in there. Now you can kind of start doing what I would call is the kind of, I would say, the further analysis. So I actually had somebody reach out. Oh, geez. Apparently Siri heard my voice. So at this point, I've had people reach out in the past and they've kind of asked for certain things like, hey, I'm looking for paragraphs that contain this word, or hey, I need to get all the tables that belong to this page, or hey, I need to find all the headers for this particular page. Now that we're kind of past cleaning the data, this type of tasks are going to be much easier. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is like basically searching for words, extracting tables from each page. And then also doing things like, hey, if I want to search for some very specific tags, how would I do that? So this is what this section is now going to cover. So here's an example of if we wanted to search for certain words in each page. What I've decided to do is I've created a dictionary called Search Dictionary. And inside the Search Dictionary, there's a key. Each key basically represents a list of words. So try to make the keys meaningful. So in this example, I create credit words to mean words that might define credit agreements, for example, contract words, words that might, you might find something that discusses contracts. These are kind of just if ones, like I'm not positive these are going to always work, but this is just to show you how you should structure it. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, it could be whatever you want it to be. But really what you can do is when you store it in this master dictionary, it'll make searching through all the document pages a lot easier because you won't have to have these like complicated if statements. And so once I've defined that search dictionary, I'm going to again loop through all the documents. So finally, just to reiterate the point, might not be the most efficient, but this is more to kind of help you understand how I'm approaching these particular problems. So maybe we want to do a word search, for example, right? So we might want to do a word search and look through that clean text we just created. How would that look? Well, we'll create a new variable and we'll grab the normalized text. So we'll create a new variable, grab the normalized text, and we'll call it Normalized Text Dictionary. And that basically exists in each filings document. and then it's the document ID, and then it's the page's normalized text. And so that will return that dictionary we inserted up here. And once you've got that, you can start looping through it, basically. There's a couple other things we need to do, but generally that's what you would do. So we need to initialize first a dictionary to store our results. And really what I want this to serve as is, here's the words that we search for, here are the ones that we found. That way you have an easy way of finding that information. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new dictionary called Matching Words Dictionary, and that will equal another dictionary, obviously. And then there's some other stuff that I do as well. So again, this is more for user display. So I define the number of pages. And so that will equal page length, so a new variable, and that's simply the length of our normalized text dictionary. And then from here, what you would want to do is loop through all the text. So loop through all the text. And really, it's the text on each page. So we'll say for page number in normalized text dictionary, what are we going to do with it? Well, we got to grab that actual text. So grab the actual text. And so we'll say normalized page text. That will equal our normalized text dictionary. And we'll have the page number be the key that we pass through. So now we have an individual text. And then from here, actually, let me check how far the movie's. No, we're not too far in. Okay, I just want to make sure we didn't go too far. I don't want to make it too long of a video. What are we doing next? So we need to have the matching words dictionary. So what we'll do is we'll have matching words dictionary. We'll have the page number serve as the key, and that will be, for this particular example, that will be the page number, so that will serve as our key in a sense. So, because each page is going to have whether it had basically text that match or not. And so each page will have a set of results. And then from here, we're going to loop through each list in our well, basically each list in our search dictionary. And so what we'll do is we'll loop through each list in our search dictionary. And so what we'll do is we'll say for search list in search dictionary, and really it's the search list key. We need to grab the list of words, and we'll say list of words is going to equal the search dictionary search list. And what we'll do is then we're going to see if any of the words match. So let's see if any of the words match. And so we'll say matching words equals, again, we're going to use list comprehension, word for word in list of words if word in normalized text, page text. Again, this is list comprehension. Basically, all this is doing at the end is it's only going to add it to the list if the word is found in the page text. In the documentation, I do show you how to do it as a for loop, but really you should do it as list comprehension for speed purposes. All right, so once you've done that, we've searched the words. We now have got a list of matching words if there were any. There's no guarantee there's going to be any result in it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add all this stuff to this dictionary up here. And so what we'll do is we'll grab this and we'll say matching word page number, and then we'll have the, what is it? We'll have the search list equal the list of words, and then list of words, and then next, what is the next one? What would I call this one? We'll call it matches. That's kind of, oh, this has to be another dictionary, unfortunately. So we got to grab that one. And then what we're going to do is this would be the list of words. That would equal our list of words. I just realized that because otherwise it's going to overwrite everything again, and we don't want that. And so we want this one to be matches. And then this will be matching words. Okay. Let me just double check. So we've got our master dictionary for each page. Each page is going to have another dictionary where it's going to be basically the search that we're doing. So the search list. So that will be the key. And then we're going to have the list of words that we search for that key. And then we're going to have the matches that were found for that key. That doesn't make it confusing enough, right? And then from here, we need to add this to the dictionary. Where am I looking? I think I put that at the bottom, unfortunately. Hold on, I have to bring it up again. Matching words. Yeah, I'd put it down there, of course, again. So then what we would have to do is once you've looped through each page number, what we would have to is put it back into the master filings document. So filing document, and then it would be document ID, and then it would be, I just give some like high level like word search. And from here, it would equal our matching words dictionary because you're doing it for each document if you think about it. And so I'm going to run this and hopefully, of course, page is normalized text. Oh, I had an S at the end. I wasn't supposed to do that. Sure, there's another one. Filing documents. Again, it's all the little typos, I swear. Okay, so that should have done that. I'm going to insert a cell up above just so you guys can see it a little bit. And let's see what we get. Ooh, no, don't do that. And then what we're going to have this be, I want that to be the 8KA one. You can tell there's definitely like a lot that can potentially go wrong with it. You have to keep it a little bit, but again, this is kind of like what you can see, like, okay, for each page, you're doing a credit word search. So that was the list that you search. In this case, there were no matches. And, you know, if you keep going down, like this one, they actually found a match, but that's kind of what I was telling you before. There's no guarantee there's going to be any matches. It's just, it's there, it's structured. So now if you want to kind of go back and say like, hey, did that page have this? And now that I know that information, does it allow me to do kind of a more in-depth search? Congratulations, now you can do it. And it's kind of like an easy fashion. So at this point, I am going to kind of cut the video because I don't want it to go on too much longer. In the next video, we're going to kind of go over 2 more versions of this, and then I'm going to kind of close things off with the entire series by discussing some more customized functions that will help you parse tables and things along that nature. So if you have any questions at this point along searching for words or just kind of how we got to what we got when it came to like normalizing the text, feel free to put them down in the comments below. Hopefully I didn't make any errors. If I did, I will be putting up the GitHub code, and hopefully that one's error-free too. I tested that one a lot, so that one should be fine. So thank you again for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the final video where we close things off.